The entire river's surface turned pitch black. Muddy, it was no longer a river, but a monstrous machine grinding everything in its path. It wasn't just flowing, it was racing, violently, furiously, as if chasing something it refused to let go. No signs of slowing, no end in sight. Everything was swept away, disappearing into that raging current. Huge logs, even entire bridges, all were swept away by the raging floodwaters, as if they had no weight. It was as if the overwhelming power of nature had stripped them of all resistance, tossing them aside like dry branches in a storm. A power so immense that no matter how modern we are, we can only watch, breathe hard, and slowly step back. Within just a few minutes, the familiar streets of the neighborhood transformed into raging rivers, swallowing sidewalks, cars, and everything in their path. Homes that once stood firm were suddenly uprooted and began to drift aimlessly, floating like broken rafts on a sea of chaos. No one could save anyone else. Everyone was clinging to life on instinct. In that moment, among the sea of people and water, I couldn't tell fear from tears anymore. No one could imagine where all that water would go, or what it would take with it. But everyone knew the flooded areas were about to drown again. The sound of the release echoed through the mountains. The sky was gray, the air heavy. In that moment, it felt like we were facing nature's final fury. The bridges that once spanned the river, once a source of pride for the local people, now looked like fragile threads, torn apart piece by the raging flood. Each span of the bridge was lifted violently by the overwhelming pressure of the current. Its piers cracked and shattered, the roar of the water surging beneath. There was no warning, no sirens, no chance to stop it. The bridge simply gave way, collapsed in an instant, vanished before our eyes like it was never there. Just minutes earlier, this place had been a bustling road, filled with life and motion. Now, it had turned into a graveyard of twisted metal and sheer panic. I saw someone still trapped inside their car, pounding desperately on the window, begging for help. But the water was too fierce, the current too strong, no one dared to get close. I don't know how long this flood will last, but I do know its impact will linger for a long time in the hearts of those who lived through it. It's not just about the water, it's a scar, one that won't ever fade. There used to be a narrow trail I once followed through the forest, but it's gone now. The flood swallowed it completely, carving a new river in its place, winding through the broken trunks of fallen trees. The water rose before my eyes. What began as a shallow puddle quickly climbed past my ankles. Within minutes, it spilled over the steps, swallowing the yard and everything in its path.
Rural areas were hit especially hard. Overflowing rivers broke past